Some breaking news. CBS News has learned that U.S. intelligence believes Iran is preparing a major attack in retaliation for Monday's airstrike by Israel on the Iranian consulate in Damascus.
The U.S. and Israel braced for a retaliatory attack.
Now, the U.S. has warned Iran in writing not to attack U.S. personnel and facilities.
Well, Iran has vowed to hold the U.S. as well as Israel accountable.
Breaking news coming out in the last 24 hours that the U.S. is preparing for significant Iran attack on U.S. or Israeli assets in the region as soon as next week. And you can take a look at the photos coming out from Iran at this time. The U.S. on high alert for Iran threat in region after Israeli strike in Syria. And Middle East crisis. Iran says the enemy will regret strike on Damascus. U.S. on high alert for attacks in Tehran. And I'm going to be sharing with you the latest video footage as this is in a response to what unfolded in Damascus. The United States is on high alert and preparing for a possible attack by Iran targeting Israeli and American assets in the region in response to Israel's strike on the Iranian embassy in Syria, U.S. officials said on Friday. We're definitely at a high state of vigilance, said the officials, confirming a CNN report that said an attack could come in the next week. Suspected Israeli warplanes bombed Iran's embassy in Damascus on Monday in a strike that ended the life of an Iranian military commander and marked a major escalation in Israel's war with the region's adversaries. Take a look at what unfolded.
Breaking news. Syrian state media are reporting Israel has conducted a rare daytime strike next to the Iranian embassy in Damascus. Reuters is citing Lebanese security sources saying that the airstrike killed a senior Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps leader, Mohammad Reza Zahedi. In 2010, you should know the U.S. Treasury sanctioned Zahedi, calling him the commander of the IRGC, Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, Quds Force in Lebanon. And he played a key role in Iran's support to Hezbollah.
Now I'm going to be sharing with you the latest video footage and articles so you can see it for yourself. But before we dive in, do me a favor. If you appreciate the updates so you know exactly what's going on, take a quick second to hit that like button for me. Subscribe to stay up to date. It's totally free. Why not? And I'm providing my community with resources available in the description. You can go ahead and check those out and see if there's something that could help out you and your family. But with that being said, let's go ahead and dive right in, and let's start off with some video footage coming out with the warnings of potential attacks against the U.S.
Well, now to some breaking news. CBS News has learned that U.S. intelligence believes Iran is preparing a major attack in retaliation for Monday's airstrike by Israel on the Iranian consulate in Damascus. Now, the U.S. has warned Iran in writing not to attack U.S. personnel and facilities. CBS's David Martin is at the Pentagon with these new developments.
Iran's supreme leader held funeral prayers for the Revolutionary Guards killed by an Israeli airstrike, as both the U.S. and Israel braced for a retaliatory attack. U.S. officials tell CBS News Iran is making preparations to launch a swarm of drones and missiles timed around the upcoming end of Ramadan. The target is still unknown, but Israel is reinforcing its air defenses. The ways of retaliating can come from anywhere, including Iran, Israel's defense minister said, and we are preparing to face this matter.
I think Iran will cast about for a relatively vulnerable target, perhaps an embassy somewhere abroad, something like that, maybe a ship at sea.
Retired General and former Mideast Commander Frank McKenzie says Monday's Israeli strike against the Iranian diplomatic compound in the Syrian capital of Damascus was the most significant Israeli attack against Iranians since the war in Gaza began.
It's a very precisely directed strike that took out key leadership, and I think it's hurt them quite a bit.
Two senior generals were among the 7 in what Iran considered to be an attack on its sovereign territory. Caught the U.S. as much by surprise as it did Iran, even though it was carried out by an American-built F-35 stealth fighter. The U.S. was quick to disavow any connection.
We were not notified by the Israelis about their strike or the intended target of their strike in Damascus.
Still, Iran has vowed to hold the U.S. as well as Israel accountable, and American troops throughout the Middle East have been put on high alert that they too might be attacked in coming days. Nora?
David Martin, thank you very much for that new reporting.
So there you have it. And now let's take a look at this article that came out from CNN that's going to give a little bit more context. Again, this coming out in the last 24 hours that says the U.S. preparing for a significant Iran attack on U.S. or Israeli assets in the region as soon as next week. Now, the U.S. is on high alert and actively preparing for a significant attack that could come as soon as within the next week by Iran targeting Israeli or American assets in the region in response to Monday's Israeli strike in Damascus that ended the life of top Iranian commanders. A senior administration official tells CNN, senior U.S. officials currently believe that the attack by Iran is inevitable, a view shared by the Israeli counterparts as well, that officials said. The two governments are furiously working to get in position ahead of what is to come, as they anticipate that Iran's attack could unfold in a number of different ways, and that both U.S. and Israeli assets and personnel are at risk of being targeted. A forthcoming Iranian attack was a major topic of discussion on President Joe Biden's phone call with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu on Thursday. Now, as of Friday, yesterday, the two governments did not know when or how Iran planned to strike back, the officials said. A direct strike on Israel by Iran is one of the worst-case scenarios that the Biden administration is bracing for, as it would guarantee rapid escalation of an already tumultuous situation in the Middle East. Such a strike could lead to an Israeli-Hamas war broadening into a wider regional conflict, something that Biden has long sought to avoid. Now, Israel has carried out numerous strikes on Iran-backed targets in Syria, often targeting weapons shipments intended for Hezbollah, a powerful Iranian proxy in Lebanon. But the targeting of an embassy itself marks a significant escalation, since embassies are considered a sovereign territory of the nations they represent. Iran vowed to take revenge. Now, the U.S. was quick to inform Iran that the Biden administration was not involved and had no advance knowledge of Monday's strike on the embassy, and warned Iran against coming against American assets. The United States had no involvement in the strikes, and we did not know about it ahead of time, the National Security Council spokesperson told CNN earlier this week. The U.S. has warned Iran not to use the Israeli strike in Damascus as a pretext to attack U.S. personnel and facilities, a State Department spokesperson told CNN on Friday. Now, the warning was sent in a response to a message from Iran, the spokesperson said. Iran's message to the U.S. blamed the United States for the Damascus attack, a senior administration official said, though it was not clear what, if anything else, Iran conveyed to the United States in that initial message. The deputy chief of staff of the Iranian President Mohammad Jamshidi said on X Friday that in a written message, the Islamic Republic of Iran warned the U.S. leadership not to get dragged into Netanyahu's trap for the U.S. Stay away so you won't get hurt, he added in a response. The U.S. asked Iran not to target American facilities. As Iran noted publicly, we received a message from them, the State Department spokesperson told CNN when asked about the post, and we responded by warning Iran not to use this as a pretext to attack U.S. personnel and facilities. We did not ask. A senior administrative official described the U.S. warning to Iran as, "Don't think about coming after the United States." The State Department spokesperson did not provide further information about how the U.S. message was conveyed to Iran. There you have it. Let me know your thoughts as things appear to be escalating in the Middle East, and we're hearing that attacks against the U.S. and Israel could be coming in days or in weeks. Now, I'll keep you up to date as more information unfolds, and also to get the latest that's coming out, be sure to check out this video right here next as well. And like I said, as things come out, I'll be sure to keep you up to date. But that is the latest, you guys. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll catch you in the next video. Take care. God bless. This is Steve.